put them in there. And what happens with squash blossoms is it thickens up the soup to more like a dumpling kind of texture or stew. And maybe somebody has dug up some Jerusalem artichokes, is the English name for it, or it's a native kind of potato. Somebody brought that in and put that in there. It's getting yummier and yummier. Maybe somebody brought in some turkey or deer or salmon. I'm hungry too now. And put it in there. And then, you know, maybe somebody's got some fresh corn off the cob. They want to put that in there. And now it's a chowder, you know, kind of like a chowder without the milk. So we didn't, that's one thing we didn't drink was milk. You know,
yes.
There was no cows that are indigenous.
I hate milk.
To this land here. You know what indigenous means, yes? It means born in this local land. Okay? The native people, another name for them would be indigenous. Because they were born here. Alright? So, the other food, by the way, was flying, running, swimming, flowers, you know, all the edible flowers, the roots, nuts, berries. Okay? There were 5 kinds of corn. And from that 5 kinds of corn, the world gets all its variety. Those 5 kinds, I think you know most of them. Sweet corn, right? Popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flour corn that you make cookies and stuff out of. Yeah. Then there's also flint corn and dent corn. And I think those two, I'm not sure if it's both of them or what, flint and dent, that's what like farmers feed their cow, or not cow, but chickens and stuff. But you can eat it. It's edible. We ate it. We got recipes for that. It's just the early Europeans didn't like it. They didn't fancy it. So they gave it to their chickens, and the chickens just love it. So anyways, those are the 5 original types of corn. And they all come from actually one type of corn, which was like even originated as a grass, I guess. But anyways, that's that. There are 40 types of beans, 40 or 60 types of squash. You know, this one here, this giant one up here, let's see if I can bring it down. This is hard, and this is a gourd. Gourds dry hard. And you can make rattles out of, you know, smaller ones like that are hanging about here. Like this one. You can make rattles like this. The seeds just shake dry. It's not made yet. Not created yet. This gourd, can you walk this around? And just, you can do a little tap, but don't pull at it, okay? Can you do this one? This is a water bottle type one. It's got a natural fiber netting made from dog bane. You can make it out of milkweed. You can make fiber out of basswood trees.
Ooh.
And here's another, here's a nice elm bark container.
I'm going to pass that around.
We'll leave that one, please. That's fine.
They got spiders.
Inside here is corn husk bottles, and this is elm bark.
Yeah, she said it got a spider on it.
As you walk by, you might have saw this here. You all know what that is, right? Who knows
A grinder.
A grinder. A grinder of what? Anybody got a guess? Corn, sir.
For corn? I'm just guessing.
He had his hand up. Oh, nice. Oh, what a good lad. What a good lad. Yeah.
And if I know it.
Okay. So it's a corn pounder. Yes, for grinding. Lots of corn, because in this house, your family would be about 30, maybe 40 people would inhabit this home. Everybody on your mom's side of the family. Not your dad's side. Of course, he would live in here. But it would be your mom. Remember that matrilineal thing you learned in school? So, but the majority of those bodies would be little infants and toddlers and folks your age. Sir, you have a question?
Yes. No, well, it's a connection.
Okay.
You see the I don't know what
The
you.
gourd?
Yeah, the gourd.
Yeah.
My grandma in my country, she still used this stuff for like shaking milk or water, keep it cold. She said she liked this tradition.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Thank you for making a connection. Where's your country?
Yemen. Yemen.
Yemen. Oh, interesting. Yes?
I just want to ask, are we going to do the dance that we saw on the movie?
No. For that, you would need men for singing, because that's their job.
Can I do it?
All right, questions? Yes?
Big voice so we can hear you all the way down here.
In my grandmother's country, they use like gourds, kind of like the drinking gourd that you had. They use that for water.
Isn't that what I just said?
A good connection. Her grandmother used the gourd for drinking in their country. Yeah, a lot of native people from their own areas, you'll find similarities. How they use things from the earth. Yeah, it's just good common sense. Yeah. Yes?
Can you use different material to make a longhouse?
Can you use different material to make a longhouse? Yes. Yes, but the preferred covering of a bark house is elm. Why that is, why things are used for certain things is because they all have personalities. All the trees and plants out there have personalities, just like people. The personality of elm is to shed water. The other tree barks soak it up like a sponge. So that's why you want elm to cover your house. You don't want to be dripped on. That's why you want it for a canoe to float around in, or for a container, you know, so it don't leak. Yeah. The seams where the roof comes together, the other special quality of a white pine tree or other pine is that goopy, sappy stuff, pine pitch. You mix it with hardwood ashes of all things. You mix it together and you put it on the cracks of the longhouse and of canoes and containers that you want to keep water on one side or the other. It's a waterproofing agent. That's their personality. Question?
How long did it take to make this?
Awesome question. How long did it take to build a longhouse? We say in about a weekend. Huh? Yeah, yeah. We had the whole community to build the longhouse.
Whoa.
We compare that. Okay, we compare that to an Amish barn raising. Okay, how they do that in a weekend. Yes.
That height above you, that's mountain lion. Is that guy
Yes.
indigenous to this area?
Yes, yes,
Really?
he is. Mountain lion is indigenous. Bobcat, lynx, yeah, black bear. Not brown bears though. Not polar bears. Yes.
How long did it take to rebuild the replica?
This replica, to build this replica, it took us about 2 seasons. Because the first season we had to make 2 summer seasons. So like 2 years, roughly. We had to, the first year, we had to have the bark made because elm trees don't grow that big anymore. You might be able to find some still alive that big, but it's hard. So we had it made. And then the family who built this house with some Senecas, they had to bring in all these hickory trees here. Yeah, and they brought in all these lashings. They harvested them and they actually froze them so that when they got here they were from Illinois, and when they got here, they were thawed and they were still pliable. Because once you tie it together, and you saw in the video, once you tie it together and it dries, it's strong. Okay, good question. Yes?
Do you know anything about the Seminole tribe?
I'm so sorry. I don't know hardly anything about the Seminole.
Oh my God, I took my
Do you have a connection with them?
out.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a connection with the Seminole. You see all these French, Dutch, and English trade goods, you know, all this European stuff here.